Hey everyone, the Eco Guys here, and this is a quick video. I always say it's a quick video that I kick back, drink coffee, and relax with you. But this is a quick video to answer some questions and to address some not so nice messages I got concerning one of my last videos. So I'm going to kind of address the pink elephant in the room, I guess. Pink elephant in the room, I guess, if you want to say. But first, let's start off with one of the biggest questions I had over one of my last videos is caps, and not one of these, but this. That right there. Boop 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 boop. Caps. For the longest time, when curbside recycling first began, they always were saying, try to remove your caps because it's a different plastic than this, and we need to remove caps and bop, 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 and then throw your caps away. Well, that's really great. That means hundreds of millions of these plastic caps are being thrown in the trash. It kind of makes no sense. It goes against the whole thought process of recycling. But over the years, things have changed, and now the machinery is super cool that separates your recyclables. They actually go down this conveyor belt, and an eye will look at this, pick up what kind of plastic it is, and then with the air jet, shoots it off into a container. From there, it goes to a machine that just absolutely just chops it up and mushes it up. But it's able to remove these caps and separate the different plastics. It's technology today, and I think most of it comes from Germany. Pretty efficient dudes over there. And so that's why even some of these, I don't have an example, unfortunately, with me now. This one doesn't do it. But if you look at a lot of soda bottles, see, I don't buy a lot of soda bottles, so I don't buy actually. I try never to purchase soda in a plastic bottle. But you look on the caps, it says keep the caps on when you recycle it, because believe it or not, that's what the machinery does. So even if your municipality, and I've seen some municipalities that have not updated their rules and paperwork for their recycling in 20, 30 years, says take the caps off, you can feel very confident by leaving your cap on. Now, like some people do, if they are still unsure about that, they want to take their cap off because that's what the paperwork said. They actually have a little box that they keep in their house, and they put all their little plastic caps in the box. When the box gets full, they stick a label on it, and they send it to us, the Eco Guys. When we get like oddball plastics like that, or small plastics that can't, even if it's a piece of plastic like that matches this, number one or number two, but it's a small bottle or whatever, it may not be recycled because in the system, as it's running so fast, now it could get missed because it's so small. So they send the caps, small plastics, to us, and we send them off to a company that makes different things out of these, not just plastic bottles or plastic bottles at all. They actually make park benches, fencing, soffits on houses, wood products that look just like wood, car bumpers. What I mean by car bumpers is not the bumper on your car, but you know when you go to the parking lot and that you drive up into a parking space and that little curb that you hit, well, I hit. They make those out of it, and it lasts longer than cement. It's hard to break, lasts longer, and now they're turning a product. One of these companies is turning a product into a roadway where they mix it with asphalt, and the road is giving a little bit more. It's safer. It absorbs water better, and it actually will increase the longevity of your tires. It's really cool. And if enough people are recycling and enough of this is made, it's more than half less the cost of putting in regular asphalt or cement roads. No brainers, right? So recycle, 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 recycle. So that's the questions about the caps. Yes, leave them on. If you still are unsure, you can always send things to the Eco Guys. Check out our website at, I like doing this, ready? theecoguys.info. Okay. Next, I had a question to clarify. Oh, You know, I was married to a Cuban for a lot of years. If y'all go way back into the Eco Guys, you'll remember Nisi. She was part of the radio show we had and all that. She's Cuban, and she introduced me to Cuban coffee, which is really, really heavily strong coffee with strong cream. It's just strong. And congratulations, I'm drinking it now. So now I'm used to that. But anyway, so you get your creamer that looks like this, okay? Now, there's a big problem. It's really cool that they wrap this whole thing into a wrapping. Apparently, it's cheaper for them than actually putting it on the plastic. It's easy to recycle, but the big problem with this is when this is going down those conveyor belts and those eyes are hitting it, they don't know what that is because they don't always see the bottom. They see this, and it's a multicolored plastic, and they get confused. And a lot of these creamers will get rejected and end up in the landfill, and we can't have that. So sometimes nowadays, not just sometimes, but all the time, if we really want to care about our earth, we got to do a couple of steps to help the recycling process. So what I do is I got a friend of mine gave me this. Look, isn't that cute? It's like a little tiger paw, because tiger recycling, of course. It's like a little tiger's paw, but it's a lethal tiger's paw, because if you look at the top, a razor blade pops out at the top. So cute. Oh, yeah? Anyway, so I have this. Be very careful. Wear eye protection. Be very careful. What I just simply do is I take it, and I just run it down the side of the creamer real quick. Doesn't matter if you cut the plastic. It's going to be recycled anyway. And I peel off the label. You don't have to get all of it off. See, it's still a little bit there. You don't have to get all of it off. Just enough so that optical eye hits it and tells that that is number one. Here's a test of the emergency broadcast system. Yeah, I believe this. Yeah, it is number one. Recycle expert, huh? Yeah, right. Anyway, number one. So what do we do with this label? Believe it or not, this can go back to the grocery store where you take back plastic bags that you shouldn't have. But you also have bread bags, candy bags. Yes, me and my gummy bears. And even the inside bag of cereal, bread bags, and all that can also all go back to the store where they recycle plastic grocery bags. Because the companies that recycle all of these types of plastic bags, all plastic bags, even food bags, like the food bags you stick in the, I just dropped a lot of stuff. The food bags that you stick in the microwave, you know, the heat up the peas or the carrots or the whatever, just quick cool water rinse out, boom, to the store, recycle. Today, it's really important that you make sure the store that you take it to is actually recycling these plastic bags. There's been a lot of stores that's been busted, not actually recycling their plastic bags. So it may, you know, a phone call might do to make sure that they're doing the right thing. So that answers that question. That answers those little plastic cap questions. Now, I got some downright hate over my comments on one of the videos, and you know, they weren't commenting, they were just sending me emails telling me that I shouldn't say that you're going to die if you don't recycle and all that. Folks, playing around with little buzzwords is done. We're past that, folks. Everyone knows that I have no filter and I say it like it is. Today, there are people dying every single day because of the way we have treated this planet. Dying people. A real life dead would still be alive if this planet was cared for better starting, you know, 20, 30, 40 years ago. And what we're doing is this. It's really simple. And I wish I had something to write with, so I'll try to make hand gestures. We make tons and tons of plastics. That's why if you don't have to buy plastics, try not to. Try to buy things in paper, metal, and glass containers rather than plastics. But plastics are a necessary evil. They save lives every single day, and there's plastics in everything. As I'm talking to you now, there's plastics in my headphones, in my microphone, in my hat, probably in my clothes, probably in these glasses. There's plastics everywhere. We just have to deal with it. But what we do is when we manufacture plastics, we put bad stuff up in the air. It's poison, literally, that eats away at our ozone layer. It eats away at our breathing. It's just bad. My phone's going off. I'm sorry. I'm a busy guy. It just eats away at. It just eats away at all that stuff. So nature is going to compensate. And we grow trees all over the world. These trees take in such bad stuff from the air and releases oxygen for us to breathe. Not only that, but they put a canopy over the earth. They protect the earth. Oxygen goes up, cleans the air. Trees and green plants are one of the most wonderful things on the planet. So how do we thank them? We're chopping down literally the size of Texas every single day and not replanting them. Look at your own cities. How many forest lands, how much area is cut down to build buildings or a house development, and then they put some cheap little tree that's hardly ever going to grow up there and think that's going to make up for the gigantic trees that they cut down. Also, our dependency on wood and paper is massive. If we recycled every single scrap of paper and cardboard that we have on this planet now, we would have no need to cut down. We would cut, no pun intended, we would cut our tree cutting down usage all the way to maybe 5% of what we do today. That is why it's so important to recycle every scrap of paper, every piece of junk mail, everything that comes to your house, every bit of cardboard, no matter how big, no matter how small. The more you recycle, the more we don't have to cut these trees down, and we need to help out when there's sensible laws on protecting these things. Second thing that we're doing is we're throwing tons of this stuff into the oceans and garbage at an incredible amount. And people say, well, I'm not doing it. Well, yes, actually you are, because when you buy plastics, they got to go someplace, and a lot of times they're sent to countries that don't care and they throw it over. And people cruise lines throw their garbage into the ocean. Tons of people, if you see these sitting on the side of the road, I pick up bottles and cans, plastic stuff, paper, trash all the time that I see on the side of the road, because eventually these are going to go down into a sewer system, which leads to a lake, which leads to a river, which leads to a stream, which leads to the ocean, which all this garbage that we have in the ocean is warming our oceans. And when we have our oceans warm and we're killing off all of the aquatic life that keeps our oceans cool, then we have these wacky ass weather that's killing people. So it's all connected. We are killing people by not caring about the environment. It sounds harsh, but it's true, and I'm sorry if that offends people, but if the truth offends you, then that's your problem. Okay? So and don't ever think that you're one person, because I'm one person, but in a day I can affect 5 people and get 5 people to change their mind. Those 5 will affect 5 more, and 5 more, and 5 more, and it grows like a tree. So I'm not some environmental nutball who says, well, you got to turn off your car and you can do this. Okay, let's talk about cars. Let's talk about oil. Oil is a necessary thing. Oil is in everything. Cut down on our plastics. Oil is in here. Actually, it's kind of funny. Oil is actually made more for plastics than anything else. Gasoline and the oil that makes gasoline is actually a byproduct. It's kind of really funny of kerosene, I think. Anyway, so basically, I may have that kind of wrong, but at first I think gasoline is a byproduct of kerosene, but more oil goes into plastics than goes into our cars. I'm not saying get rid of your car and buy a Tesla or anything like that, because I do know that electrical vehicles contribute to the erosion of the environment based on how they are built. But, it's the better of two evils. But if you just keep your car tuned up, if it's leaking oil or fluids, fix it. If you just keep your car tuned up, 1, you'll save money in the long run. And 2, you'll help out the environment. Go ahead and use your car. I drive motorcycles, and it's gas motorcycles. I'm okay with that. It's what we do on the other side to combat what we do to destroy the earth. And you think it's hot now? You ain't seen nothing yet. And climate change is not going to make the earth uninhabitable. It kind of is. It's not going to destroy the earth, but it will destroy humans on it. And we're heading that direction right now rapidly. When it's 115 degrees, 130 degrees the other day in Death Valley. Well, it's Death Valley, but still 115 degrees in Texas. And every time you turn on the news, you hear these people say, temperatures and weather events never seen in recorded time. Hello? Should be waking you up. And you know, it's so funny because about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, on the radio, during one of my environmental shows, I made the announcement that within 10 to 15 years, we're going to be facing exactly what we're facing today, and I was exactly right. All my predictions so far have been correct, 100%. So why should this one be different? We're going to start killing massive amounts of people off, not because of coronavirus, not because of all these other kind of things, because of what we're doing to the earth. So every single day, we need to start paying more attention to that. And I've seen crazy crap like a garbage can right here and a recycle bin right here, right next to each other, and people walk up and throw their plastics and their bottles into the trash can when the recycle bin was right there. It's just not paying attention to life and not giving a damn. And that is when I have to say something harsh, like those kind of actions are killing people. Killing people. So when you start to realize that, maybe you'll start to change the perception and what we have to do, because it's going to get a lot worse. And if you don't think the movie WALL-E, and if you've never seen the movie WALL-E, watch it. Is it realistic? That's exactly where we're headed. Don't think it won't happen. It will happen, and it's going to happen. So let's try to change things right now. If you've ever wondered where you can recycle something, or if you have something that you don't know that can be recycled, you can always see if we'll accept it through the mail at our website, theecoguys.info, www.theecoguys.info. You can always email us at theecoguys@yahoo.com and ask us questions. We'll be more than happy to help you find a place to recycle it, or say, yeah, package that up and send it to us. We need to stop being a throwaway society. We need to start being a recycling society. And we need to encourage more companies like this one plastics company, or these couple that make interesting products back out of these plastics. Again, they keep it out of the landfill. And the more that we can recycle these things and remake them, the more we don't have to make them from virgin material. And yeah, I will be honest with you, recycling plastics and making them from virgin material puts about the same amount of garbage in the air. So there you go. That's very true. I will give you that. But these things in the oceans and in the wild is killing people, because we're killing our planet doing that every single day. So the best thing to do is, if you don't need the plastic, don't use it. Find an alternative. Use an alternative to plastic containers. There are alternatives, and yeah, it may cost you 5 to 10 to 25 cents more, but what is a life worth to you? 25 cents? I also want to give a real big shout out and thank you to the amount of people that have been donating to the Eco Guys. We don't put ads on our videos because, first, I don't know. We actually were monetized at one time, and they had oil companies and plastic companies advertising on our... No. So we really depend on, another thing too is all these things that people send us to recycle, we're not making any money. Actually, we run in a deficit. So I don't care if it's $1. I just want to thank everyone who donates to keep us going, keep us educating and fighting every single day to make sure that we have an easier planet, and we can save some lives, and we make it clean and beautiful for you. I do this for you, for our planet. And we have a Cash App, because I don't understand how you could send us a donation and some freak other company takes 40 to 50% of it and gives us peanuts. With our Cash App, we get 100% of your donation, which is beautiful. So it's really easy. It's Cash App. It's legitimate. Come on, folks. It's actually better than Venmo, in my opinion. It's better than most. I've never had an issue with Cash App, and it's so funny too because whenever I see someone out there with these Cash App warnings, it's usually somebody who is pretending to be a concerned citizen. But if you kind of research them a lot, you'll find that they work for, like, other companies that are against Cash App. So, basically, Venmo and all these other companies, they're fake. There's nothing wrong with Cash App. There really isn't. Okay, it's as secure as anything else in the world, and I've had it since Cash App was Cash App, and I've never had an issue with it. But our Cash App is $ help HELP 4401. Simple as that. And I don't care if it's $1, and you hear that boo 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 going on in the background. Apparently Dino, and I want to thank Dino. I record these videos, but she works really hard on editing them and putting them out there for you guys to watch. She answers a lot of your emails, a lot of your questions. She handles the Cash App. She makes everything, and she's telling me that bloop 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 is donations. They're not a lot, $1 or $2, but if that's all you can afford, that's wonderful. 100% goes back into what we do. I don't make any personal money off of this. This is not how I make my income. It goes right back into doing what we do. So I want to thank everyone for that too. I think that's my agenda today. We're going to be offering these here pretty soon. Let me just show you these aluminum straws. A link to buy these things here real soon. So look for that on the website and everywhere else, because these are wonderful. All you got to do is clean them, and they're great. They're aluminum straws. This is what I use. I take them with me. There's even one that I don't really use it because I like these, and I could just stick these in my pocket or in my bag or whatever, but they collapse like like one of those. You can also use it to point at graphs, and they're aluminum straws, and they're wonderful, and it's right there in my water. Okay, so I guess that's all I got to say. I'm rambling, and I've got to stop doing that, apparently. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer the questions, and I love you all, and I appreciate the positive feedback, and I appreciate the negative feedback. But let's see if we can change it all to helping our planet, because this is all we have. And you know what's funny to me? We are spending so much money right now and so much effort and time to figure out how to colonize Mars as an escape for when we destroy this planet and another planet to live. I wonder what would happen if we spent that much energy, that much time to clean this planet up and make Earth inhabitable. Or habitable, I should say. Think about that. It's the Eco Guys. Thank you. Get green, get wild. Have a good one.
Danger. The emergency destruct system is now activated. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye, 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 bye.